Alaska. It's another good fish. They're approved outfitters, and that means they deliver on what they advertise. Give them a call today.
Hi, I'm Mike Deming, host of Sportsman's News Television. On this episode, business partner and co-owner Kent Danjanovich is headed to Kodiak, Alaska, Port Lions with Wilderness Beach Lodge to catch silver salmon. You know, it's not very often that I get jealous of Kent and the places he gets to go, but Wilderness Beach Lodge is one such place. Doc and Deb Kennedy have spared no expense on making sure they've got one of the best destination resorts in Alaska. They've got great lodging, great food, and the best ocean fishing vessels I've ever been on in my entire life. They've got great gear, and the fishing's pretty darn good too. Stick around, Kent Danjanovich is going to show you what I'm talking about.
Hi, I'm Ken Danjanovich, your host of this edition of Sportsman's News Television. We're on Kodiak Island in the little town of Port Lions with Wilderness Beach Lodge. Doc and Deb Kennedy do a wonderful job here. We've been to this lodge a number of times, and this particular year we're here towards the middle of August to be here in the heart of the silver salmon run also. And of course, in these sheltered bays of this area, great halibut fishing, rockfish, lingcod, yelloweye, black bass, and this area also has a lot of year-round feedered kings, and so we're really looking to a great week, and we know you're going to enjoy this edition of Sportsman's News Television. Well, we're headed out to do some fishing this morning. Let's go and check the captain and see what we're going to be doing this first morning. So, Captain, what are we doing this morning?
We're gonna take off toward Shelikof Strait and see if the weather will allow us to go troll for some silvers this morning, and hopefully we could drop the anchor and get some halibut too while we're there.
Okay, perfect.
As long as the weather permits us.
The fishing grounds is a short distance from the lodge, but regardless of where you are traveling, you will always be in comfort in one of the fully enclosed fishing vessels. This particular boat has a kitchenette, abundant seating, a bathroom, and a lot of deck room for fishing. These waters are loaded with many different species of fish, and trolling for salmon is one of the most productive methods of catching not only the target species of silver salmon, but also kings.
DJ, tell us a little bit about the setup you use here for the trolling for the silvers.
Today they are liking a hot pink apex. It kind of simulates the movement of a rolling herring. It doesn't kind of wobbles back and forth.
Okay.
So similar to what they use in the river, quick fish.
Okay.
Yeah. Somewhat like that.
And the interesting thing is we're not actually using any bait either. We're just using actually bare hooks following that attractor. So
it's harder to catch kings when there's no bait, but silvers, they just go for the shininess of the lure.
okay, then we're putting them down on downriggers at about how many feet today?
25 to 30.
Okay. First fish of the day. Fast and Furious. Got a nice skin there, and immediately hooked up on two silvers right after, it looked like. So, lost one, but good pass.
Oh wow, that's a nice silver. Good job.
Once you get in the fish, it's non-stop action as fish after fish come in over the rail, and a small break in the action is a welcome sight. but this time of year with Wilderness Beach Lodge, it doesn't last for long.
Like a king. That's a great silver here in Port Lions, Alaska, with Wilderness Beach Lodge. Great fish. Once you find them, they're hot and heavy. We're about the middle of August this year, and this is our primary target this time is silver salmon, and we're starting to get into the area here. It's been very good this morning. Well, DJ, we had a great day today out fishing for basically silver salmon today, but a couple of kings thrown in for good measure, and even some. In fact, we caught a couple of jumps and a couple of pinks too, didn't we?
Yeah, it was actually a pretty alright day for trolling. Too bad the wind had to come up on us, but at least we got a limit of them anyway.
Yeah, I'll tell you, these are some of the biggest silvers I've caught in a lump sum like this anytime, anywhere in Alaska. It's really probably the best big fish day I think I've ever had for silver salmon. So I'll tell you, that's one of the nice things here at the Wilderness Beach Lodge. They have a great variety, different times of the year. We're here the middle of August this time, and the silver salmon fishing is just starting on fire right now. And so we're hoping that this is our first day here, limited out with 25 fish, and it's going to be a great week. Yeah, we're right here in the bay in front of the lodge now, throwing spinners for silvers. And they are, I can't believe the size of the silvers that we've been catching these last 2 days here at Wilderness Beach. Great fish. Another good fish. Yeah, we're just using Vibrex spinners. Yellow's been good, orange, pink. Great fish, still got sea lice on them. So you can tell they're really fresh coming in here to the bay, and it's been hot and heavy.
After dinner, Kent and cameraman Dave pursue some more salmon with spinning tackle on a small stream near the lodge. Unfortunately for them, one of the year-round residents has beaten them to the prime fishing spot.
Had a close encounter with a brown bear, Kodiak brown bear, probably about an 8-footer, and Dave was a little bit scared. He was down catching some pink salmon coming up this little tributary here that has a waterfall up above us, and he caught one while we were there, ate it on the bank, then was diving after a couple more, and then got a little nervous and took off. So kind of neat. That's one of the other nice things here about this Kodiak Island. Of course, it's famous for world-class Kodiak bears, but a lot of neat things to see. We've had great success this August on the silver salmon fishing, and it's a little bit windy today. We weren't able to get into the halibut like we were hoping to, but again this afternoon we got into spinner fishing with Vibrex spinners for silver salmon, and great afternoon. I think that's another halibut.
Halibut, lingcod, yelloweye, and other rockfish are some of the best eating fare that Alaska has to offer, and it's one of the prime reasons that many people come to Alaska to fish. Fishing for these fish with Wilderness Beach Lodge is such a great pleasure, not only because of the first-class boats and gear, but because most of the fish are caught in less than 100 feet of water. Anyone who's pulled a 40-pound halibut out of 400 feet of water will surely appreciate this type of fishing.
Not bad. Some more white fillets for the freezer. No way. He's a decent one too. Probably a good chance. He's taking one off over here. He's got a pretty good one. All right, Deb. There you go. No wonder you're the board champ in the lodge, huh? This area of Kodiak, we're in Port Lions here, and of course Russia owned Alaska before we did, and you know, a lot of the old history of the Russian culture is still in this area. There's a old Russian Orthodox church behind us that's still used today by the community. You know, this area was very affected by the Good Friday earthquake in 1964, and that's how Port Lions really came to be. This area was really devastated by the tsunamis and by the earthquake, and the actual town of Port Lions was built by the Lions Club. That's how it got its name, and there's about 140 permanent residents here, and they have a constable here in town, a small city building here, post office, and so it's really quite an interesting story if you get a chance to study this area of Alaska.
A trip to Alaska just wouldn't be complete without a dinner of Alaskan king crab. Meals at Wilderness Beach Lodge are always nothing short of spectacular, and cameraman Dave Heath enjoys the great feast as a completion of a good week's work.
This is really a nice process. This is one of the few places that I go throughout the year in Alaska that does as good a job as vacuum sealing and marking your different fish you're going to be taking home with you. So this is a really nice process for when you've got them in the freezer. You don't have to reach in there and look what you've got, whether it's maybe cod or halibut or the different types of salmon. Well, this is the final day of our trip here at Wilderness Beach Lodge in Port Lions, just outside of Kodiak, Alaska. And as you can see, we've had another outstanding day of silver fishing. We're here in the middle of August. We purposely came at this time of the year because we had heard the silver fishing is so good this time of year, and it's lived up to everything that we had heard about. And as you can see, these silvers aren't any normal regular silvers. They are massive. They're as thick and weight-wise as good of a bunch of fish as I've ever caught anywhere in Alaska. So we would really highly recommend to all of our readers and listeners out there to give Doc and Deb Kennedy a call at Wilderness Beach Lodge. They are one of our prestigious Planet Approved outfitters, and that means they deliver on what they advertise. Give them a call today to book your next Alaska fishing trip. And thanks for joining us on this edition of Sportsman's News Television.
Sportsman's News Television is sponsored by Barnes Bullets, unleaded, unfailing, and unbeatable. Vortex Optics, the force of optics. CVA muzzleloaders, it's just a better gun. And Sitka, turning clothing into gear.